Hello, welcome to the episode 13 of Football Heaven 24/7 with me, your host, Jamie Carter. I'm just going to do a quick, preview of the Easter weekend games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm just going to run through them pretty quick. And there's going to be mainly a lot of predictions. Um, Hopefully, um, we'll get them right, or some of them right, maybe even five out of however many. Right, I'll start in the today, which is Friday, and it's Friday the 15th, and going to the Sky Bet Championship. You have to excuse my voice. I'm a bit croaky this morning. Um, the first game is Bournemouth against Middlesbrough, um, and I'm going to go for Middlesbrough to pull off only a little bit of a shock here because they need to get into the playoffs. Don't know if they will do because of this result, but I'm going to say 1-0 to Middlesbrough. And then it's Birmingham City against Coventry. I'm going to go 2-1 to Coventry. Derby against Fulham. Derby are pretty much down today, I think. I don't know if it's mathematically possible. I don't think it is yet, but I'm going to go for Fulham to win that one 2-1. And then Huddersfield against Queen's Park Rangers. Excuse me. I'm going to say 2-0 to Huddersfield. Hull against Cardiff City. I'm going to say 2-0 to Cardiff City. Luton against Nottingham Forest, which is the 12:30 kickoff today. I'm going to say 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. There's a surprise. No, but I think there will be. Forest have got good momentum at the moment. Not just because I'm a fan of them, but they've just been playing fantastic football at the moment. And really, that game against Liverpool showed it. You know, they're they're starting to do something special, and it's long overdue. 23 years since they were in the Premier League. That's a long time for those fans to wait. And I hope that this season, obviously, it's going to end. We'll have to wait and see. Then it's Peterborough against Blackburn in the Championship, and I'm going to say in this game 2-2. Preston against Millwall, I'm going to go 2-2 again. Sheffield United against Reading, I'm going to say 2-0 to Sheffield United. Stoke against Bristol City, 2-1 for Stoke. Swansea City against Barnsley, 3-0 to Swansea. And West Bromwich Albion against Blackpool, and I'm going to say 2-1 to West Brom against Blackpool. Then we drop into the Sky Bet League One, and that is Accrington. The first game is Accrington Stanley against Burton. I'm going to say in this game 1-1. Charlton against Morecambe, 2-0 to Charlton. Cheltenham against Gillingham. Gillingham, they have to win really to sort of get out of the relegation zone, but I think Cheltenham are too good for them. I'm going to say 3-1 Cheltenham in that one. Crewe against AFC Wimbledon. Crewe are officially down from League One into League Two. I'm going to say 2-0 to 2-0 to Wimbledon in that, and perhaps that will get them out of the relegation zone for a little bit. Then there's Doncaster Rovers against Bolton. I can only see one team winning this one. I'm going to say Bolton 2-0. And then Fleetwood Town against Oxford United. I will say Fleetwood Town are fighting to get out of the relegation zone or to stay away from it. But I think Oxford have got too much, and I'm going to say, 2-1 Oxford there. There's a lot of 2-1s today, but that's quite a regular score that you find. Then we've got Portsmouth against Lincoln City. They're coming off the back of a 3-0 win at home to Rotherham a few days previously. I'm going to say 3-1 to Portsmouth in this one. And then Sunderland against Shrewsbury Town, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Sunderland win. Wickham against Plymouth. Plymouth are trying to get into the playoffs, and so are Wickham. I will say in this game, I'm going to go 3-2. Yeah, 3-2 to Wickham. And then dropping into Sky Bet League Two, I'm going to go watch my beloved Scunthorpe United today. Officially, they're going to get relegated if they lose to Leyton Orient today because there's no chance of them catching up the points. They'd have to win the last 5 games of the season to stay up, and I don't think it's going to happen. It'll excuse me, it'll be a very sad day for me in a way because it was only just over 10 years ago that they were coming back from 2-0 behind to Reading, when I was there with my youngest brother. They came back from 2-0 down at Reading when Reading had Sigurdsson playing for him. They scored 2 goals in the last 6 minutes to stay up into the Championship, and that was in the 2009-10 season. And here we are, fast forwarding, another 12 years nearly, and we're going out the Football League for the first time in 72 years. It's very sad. We could catch Oldham and Barrow, but only if and Stevenage, but only if they lost all their games and we won all of ours, and that's not going to happen. So I think today, like I say, if we don't win, that's it really. So, but I'm still going because I've got to be loyal. It's only half an hour away from me, so there's no excuses for me to get there. But bearing that in mind, I'm hoping for a miracle. My heart says 2-1 Scunthorpe because we've got quite a good record at Leyton Orient. We haven't lost there for the last, I think, 6 times we've been there. So, but those teams that went there previously were a lot better than this team. So, what I'm going to do to cheer myself up, I'm going to try to see if I can get one of the shirts off the players at the end. I think that's the only thing that'll cheer me up from today. I can only see Leyton Orient probably beating us. I'm going to say, I'll just say 2. I'll say 2-1. I'll say we'll get a goal and 2-1 Leyton Orient. I think they're going to beat us, to be fair. They've had some quite good form at home recently. Anyway, looking in the rest of the league, I went off on a bit of a rant there about my team, but it's got to be done. Barrow's playing Forest Green. Barrow's got a win to have a chance of avoiding getting relegated to the conference like Scunthorpe. It's going to probably do today. Barrow against Forest Green, but I'm going to say 2-1 to Forest Green. Bradford against Tranmere, I'm going to say 2-0 to Tranmere. Bristol Rovers, big up to my mates who support Bristol Rovers that watch this. Bristol Rovers against Salford City, I'm going to say 2-1 to Bristol Rovers in that game. Exeter against Colchester, which is an early kick-off at 1 o'clock. Exeter, I'm going to say in that game 2-0. They're fighting to get automatically promoted. Harrogate Town against Swindon Town, I'm going to say 2-1 to Swindon. Hartlepool against Port Vale, I'm going to say 2-2. Mansfield against Sutton United, I'm going to say 2-0 to Mansfield. Newport County against Crawley Town, who are also fighting to get automatically promoted. I'll say 2-0 to Newport in that one. Oldham Athletic against Northampton, I'm going to say Northampton to win that one, and I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1 Northampton. And then Stevenage against Rochdale. Stevenage are on a bit of a good run at the moment, and I fancy them to continue it going on and getting away from the relegation zone in League Two. I'll say 2-0 to Stevenage there. And then Walsall against Carlisle United. Carlisle United are also on a great run. They've managed to pull away from the relegation zone in League Two. I'm going to say 2-0 to Carlisle. Anyway, that's all the Good Friday games. There isn't any Premier League games on today, but there is a few on Saturday. But of course, there's some massive FA Cup semi-final games this weekend. 2 games going ahead. There's one on Saturday at 3:30, which I believe is on BBC One. 3:30 kick-off. It's Manchester, the 2 top teams again from last weekend in the Premier League and in the country. Manchester City against Liverpool. I think Liverpool, they're the cup specialists. So are Manchester City, I suppose, in the recent years. But Manchester City being more about winning the League Cup in recent years. I'm going to say Liverpool aren't the favourites, but I'm going to say Liverpool to win on penalties after extra time, obviously. Don't know what the score will be. I personally think maybe the score will be another 2-2 or maybe 1-1 again, or 1-1 or something like that. So I'll say 2-2 in normal time. I'll say they won't score none of them will score in extra time, and then I'll say it'll go into penalties and Liverpool will win. So that's what I think. We've got 4 games in the Premier League. Manchester United are playing Norwich City at home. Don't know if Ronaldo will be playing again or not. I suspect he will be, but even though Norwich had a great win the other week against Burnley, I still think that Man United have got too much for them. I think Man United are going to win this one, and I'm going to say 2-0 to Manchester United. And then we've got Southampton playing Arsenal. Southampton got absolutely smashed in their last game in the Premier League. They lost 6-0 at home to Chelsea, which is pretty shocking. But as we saw on, I believe it was Tuesday night, Chelsea did fantastic. They were 3-1 up, and they took at Real Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinals, and they took them to extra time. But luckily for Real Madrid, they managed to get a goal in 5 minutes into extra time, and that allowed them to go into the semi-finals. But Chelsea have been playing some really good football. Anyway, gone off on a tangent. Back to Southampton against Arsenal. Arsenal will have too much for them, I think. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal. Actually, no, I'm not going to say 3-1 Arsenal. Let's not say that. I actually think Southampton will come back into it. I actually think that I'm going to say 1-1 because I keep forgetting Arsenal were a little bit dodgy in that game against Crystal Palace. I'll say 2-1 Arsenal. I'm getting very confused. I was going to say 3-1. I think Arsenal will nick it, but it'll be a narrow win. They'll get back on track, but it won't be enough because Tottenham are playing in the early kickoff on Saturday at 12:30. They're playing against Brighton. Brighton pulled off a shock at Arsenal. I just can't see them doing it at Tottenham though. Tottenham to win this one 3-1. And then it's Watford against Brentford. I think in this game, Watford are basically going to be close enough to getting relegated. I think Brentford are going to win this one easily. I think it's going to be 2 or 3-0. I'm going to say 3-0 to Brentford. And then in the Sky Bet League One, there's 3 games. MK Dons against Sheffield Wednesday. MK Dons will win that one 2-0. And then I'll say Rotherham against Ipswich Town. Rotherham are doing really bad at the moment. I'm going to say 2-0 to Ipswich. And then Wigan, who are flying in League One and look like they're going to win the Championship in League One. They're at home to Cambridge. I'm going to say 3-0 to Wigan in this one. And then there's a Scottish Cup semi-final. It's an Edinburgh derby again, like there was the other weekend in the league. In that derby, Hearts won 3-1. I'm going to go for Hearts to win this one 2-1. And then we've got flying through to Sunday. There's 2 Premier League games. West Ham just come back off the back of a fantastic win, winning 3-0 away at Lyon in the Europa League quarterfinals after being 1-1 at home. No one, I don't think, suspected that they would win that easily. It was beyond all West Ham fans' dreams, I think, but they had a fantastic result. They now go into the semi-finals against Eintracht Frankfurt, who were also really good, and beat Barcelona 3-2 at Barcelona, which is pretty crazy. So West Ham will be playing Eintracht Frankfurt, and I believe that's on the 28th of April at home, the first leg is, and then the second leg's the following week, I think on the 5th of May. But anyway, nevertheless, they're playing this Sunday, back in league action. They've got to play Leicester City. Now, normally when a team plays in the Europa League, even if they play another 3 days later in the Premier League, they normally don't do too great. They normally draw at best or lose. And I think this will probably be the case again. I think West Ham are going to be pretty tired from playing that game, but I still think they're going to play a good game. I'm going to say, oh, sorry, they're not playing Leicester City. Oh, my eyes are going bad. Sorry, guys. West Ham are playing Burnley, and I think even though they are going to be tired, I think they're going to have too much for Burnley. And I'm going to say 2-0 West Ham on that one. And then we got Newcastle against Leicester City. Newcastle, they're on a good run. Leicester City won 2-1 at Crystal Palace the other week. I'm going to just say a 1-1 draw in that game. And then we've got the other Scottish Cup semi-final. As I said, Hearts, I think, are going to beat Hibernian in the Saturday game. But on Sunday, it's Celtic against Rangers. I just think Celtic are playing, they're playing really good football at the moment. They're going to win the Scottish Premiership, take it back off Rangers. Plus, Rangers had a really, really long game in the Europa League quarterfinals. Literally last night against FC Braga from Portugal, they won 3-1 after going into extra time after it being 2-1 in normal time. That game, I saw the extra time part of it. It was Rangers played some fantastic football. It was constant attacking. How Scott Arfield did not score in extra time twice is beyond me. He had two perfect opportunities, missed him. It should have been 5-1 on the night for Rangers, but as it was, they won 3-1. But I think they're just going to be too tired. They haven't got a big enough squad. I think they're just going to be too tired to beat Celtic in this Scottish Cup semi-final. And then I can only see one winner. I think that Celtic will win against them quite comfortably. I'm going to go 3-1. I don't like to say that because I've got a good mate who supports Rangers, but I just think Celtic are going to be stronger. They're going to be more rested than the Rangers players, and I think that's going to work to their advantage. Anyway, we'll nip into Easter Monday. There's no games in the Premier League, but there's games in the Championship, League One, and in League Two. So we're going to go through those quite quickly now. So Barnsley against Peterborough is the first one. Peterborough are already pretty much down. I don't know if it's mathematical yet, but I'm guessing by the time it comes round to this game, they'll be automatically down. Barnsley, I think, pretty much the same. I think it's going to be a pretty pointless affair, but I'm going to say 2-1 Barnsley. Blackburn's going to be playing Stoke. Blackburn are still trying to get into the playoffs. I'll say 2-0 to Blackburn. Oh, actually, no, I won't say that. I'll say 1-1 in that one. Between Blackburn and Stoke even. Then there's Blackpool against Birmingham. I think Blackpool are really strong at home, so I'll say 2-0 to Blackpool. And then Bristol City against Sheffield United. Sheffield United still trying to get into the playoffs, but Bristol City pretty much having a mediocre season. I think they're in 17th or 18th. I will say in this game, I'll go for 2-1 to Sheffield United. And then you've got Cardiff City against Luton. Luton are still fighting to get into the playoffs, but Cardiff have had a bit of a revival at the moment. So I'm going to just say in that game, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that game. And then Coventry City against Bournemouth. Coventry City are doing some fantastic football at the moment. As I said on Friday, I think they're going to win that game that they've got at Birmingham 2-1. I'm going to say they're going to follow it up again with another win and surprise Bournemouth. And I think that's going to be 2-0 to Coventry City. And then we've got Middlesbrough against Huddersfield. Middlesbrough against Huddersfield, that's going to be quite a tough game, actually. I will say in that one a 1-1 draw there. No, actually, I'll say 2-2 in that game. And then we've got Millwall against Hull. Hull are pretty much safe, unfortunately. Damn it. They're pretty much safe, but I'm going to say Millwall 2-0 in that because they're still got an outside chance of the playoffs. Hopefully they don't make it because all the West Ham fans will hate it if they make it. But then we've got Nottingham Forest against West Brom in the evening. West Brom are playing some pretty shocking football. They had a couple of good results recently. Andy Carroll's on loan there and he's been getting a few goals from being a bit of a goal threat, but I think Forest will have a bit too much for him, and I'll just say 2-1 to Forest on that game. And then we've got Queen's Park Rangers against Derby. I'm going to say in that game, which I'm possibly going to go to as well, relying on London transport being decent or not. We'll find out. Because there's a few delays on some of the lines, I think. But QPR against Derby, I think there's nothing to play for. I don't think QPR aren't going to get into the playoffs now. They're only 6 points away at the start of this weekend, but as I predicted, I think Huddersfield will beat them on Friday, or today even. So I think this game is going to be pretty pointless. So from that point of view, I'm going to say 1-1 in this game between QPR and Derby. Reading against Swansea. Reading, they've got a fight to stay up, but Swansea are playing good. But I'm going to say Swansea 2-0 in that game. And then we've got into League One, AFC Wimbledon against Wickham. AFC Wimbledon are fighting for their lives. I just think they're only going to get a draw from this, though, but I'll say 2-2. Bolton against Accrington. Bolton to win that one 1-0. Gillingham against Fleetwood. They've got to stay up. That's kind of like a little bit of a 6-pointer there. But I'm going to go with another 1-1 draw there. And then we've got Lincoln City against Cheltenham. Lincoln City will win that one. No, they won't win that. Yeah, actually, no, I'll say they'll win that one 2-1. Morecambe to beat Portsmouth. Morecambe against Portsmouth. Portsmouth on a good roll. I'm going to say 3-1 to Portsmouth. Plymouth against Sunderland. That's going to be a tough game, but I can see Sunderland getting a 2-1 there. And then Shrewsbury against Doncaster Rovers. Shrewsbury to win that one 3-0. Into League Two, we've got Carlisle against Mansfield. I'll say that Carlisle's run will end on this game, and I'll say 2-1 Mansfield. Colchester against Bradford City. Colchester are already safe from dropping out of League Two. They're not going to drop out of there. I'm going to go Colchester to win that one 1-0. Crawley Town against Walsall. I'll say 3-1 Crawley Town. Forest Green against Oldham. I'll say that'll be a 1-1 draw. And then I'll say Northampton against Harrogate Town. I'll say 2-0 to Northampton. Port Vale against Bristol Rovers. That's going to be a tough one. Rovers have got to win it to get a chance of getting promoted. But I think that Port Vale are a strong team. But I'll go for a 2-2 draw in that. And then Rochdale against Hartlepool. We've got Rochdale against Hartlepool. I'll say in that one 2-1 to Hartlepool. Salford against Barrow. 2-0 Salford. Scunthorpe against Stevenage. Unfortunately, my team will be relegated by then, I'd say. Officially, I think I'm going to say 1-0 Scunthorpe because I think the pressure will be off them. They won't have to worry because they're already down. So I'll go 1-0 Scunny to get a rare win there because Stevenage are fighting as well, but I think Scunny will have something there to do it. So Sutton United against Newport County. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that game. Swindon Town against Leyton Orient. I'm going to say 2-0 to Swindon. And then the last game is Tranmere against Exeter City. And that is going to be 2-1, I think, to Exeter. Anyway, that's been my preview of Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, the Easter weekend. I hope you all have a good Easter. I hope you have a good time with friends and family. Thank you for all your support, for liking and subscribing to this. I'll continue to do it, despite however many followers I get. I enjoy doing it. Just, if anything, it's just for historical records, just to look back on and see what was happening in the world of football. As I say, my predictions, if they're right, will mean that Liverpool and... I didn't do the Chelsea prediction, actually. Chelsea playing Sunday against Crystal Palace in the semi-final of the FA Cup. I'll say 3-1 to Chelsea in that one. I think they'll just be too strong. So if my predictions are right, Liverpool will play Chelsea in the FA Cup final, which I believe is in the middle of May or the end of May. So that will be good to find out. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Obviously, you can disagree or agree with me. If you want to put things in the comment box beneath, you can let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on my predictions, see whether you think it'll be anything different. Also, just let all your friends and family know about us. Mainly the people that are into football. If they're not, that's fine as well. I'm going to be putting more content up as the weeks go by. And as I said earlier, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. The weather's going to be fantastic. All the best. This has been Football Heaven 24/7. Episode 13, and I'm your host, Jamie Carter. All the best, bye.